I'm Bart Kwan. I am gonna be 36 this year. I don't know how I would describe what I do, but I guess I'm a professional clown that loves fitness, is how I would describe myself. I have two main businesses or companies that I'm a part of. One is Barbell Brigade, which is a fitness apparel and gym brand. And the other side of things is Just Kidding News. I was probably every teacher's worst nightmare. I was like, not that I was dumb. It could have been public school maybe wasn't for me because I just need a lot of stimulation. But I got kicked out of my first school when I was in first grade, and then again in third grade. And then I almost got kicked out in sixth grade, and then I got kicked out of 3 high schools. So I think just the academic environment wasn't really for me. And so it was easy for me to find myself in trouble, even though I'm not really like a troublesome, or I don't really look for trouble, you know? As you're growing up, especially in junior high, and when you go into high school, you're looking for a place of belonging. And then so you kind of just go, where do I fit in? And then so I think I found like the misfits where like you just smoke cigarettes and you guys hang out, and then everyone's coming from a broken home, and then that kind of became the place that I felt like I belonged the most. I think like in those groups, like the thing that really brings everyone together is if you're down. So if everyone is down to go steal a car, or are we down to go do this, and and if all it really takes is the people's willingness to do something, and that was your bond. So it was easy to fit into a group like that. So I've robbed houses when I was like in high school, and even though I felt bad the whole time, especially when you go into someone's house and you see pictures of their family and you're like, fuck. But then there's also that unchanneled creativity part where you're trying to figure out different ways to get into a house, you know? Unchanneled creativity can it's like one of the most dangerous things in the world. It could lead to extreme criminal activities if you don't have a strong enough conscience to like, you know, hammer you down. I never felt anything that I was doing was right or productive. And I'm like, this whole time, like I'm just thinking to myself that my parents raised me better. Like, why the fuck am I doing these things? But then there's another side of me where it was finally, I felt like I got to be free and I get to be able to do what I want. I never felt like I got the support that I wanted from my parents. So I felt like I was just doing things on my own. But for once in this group, if let's say I beat up someone and I came back and I told everyone, everyone's cheering for me. So even though whatever you did, you felt horrible about, the fact that there's people that are supporting you, it made it feel good. So I got sent to this military school to kind of clean my act up. But the bad part about that is because a lot of delinquent kids do get sent there, I immediately found like the other like drug dealing people, and then you find other gangs, and then people start clicking up again. And then I end up getting kicked out in 6 months for dealing drugs there. So senior year, I was like, okay, I'm gonna have 1 year of high school left. If I don't do something drastic, I think I'm just gonna end up following the same path. And I see some of my other buddies who some of the older homies that they got out of jail and they didn't really like drastically change their life. And they're kind of stuck in the same bubble, doing the same thing. So I ended up joining the Marine Corps. And what was really cool about it is the boot camp, it's like 3.5 months long. But when you come out, because you've done so much incrementally and they build you up, that you feel like you could do anything. So like the minute I came out, I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna get my life in order and I'm gonna be a 4.0 student, I'm gonna fucking kill it. And so I went straight to community college, I signed up for classes. So by the time, like the last year right before I transferred, I had a 4.0, and I was like just like so proud of myself. I was trying to go the pre-med route. Like I was trying to like get back on the tracks of being a good Asian boy. So that was what I was trying to do. But during the summer of transfer, like there's actually no classes, and that's when YouTube first came around. And then me and my buddy Joe, he would send me these funny videos of himself, and then I would make stupid videos and I'll send it to him. And then pretty soon we would start getting like a really small fan base. Like there'd be like 800 views. And we're like, what the fuck, 800, this is crazy. And then so by the time I got into UCLA, I think I started to develop like this new passion. My last 2 years, all of my electives were just like film and theater classes. For a year straight, our plan was we'll meet from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. and we'll write Monday through Friday. And on the Saturdays and Sundays, we'll film all the skits that we wrote. And we did that for a year, even if we had a fever or like we didn't let anything stop us. And then we got the company to the point where we could pay myself $1,000 a month, pay him $1,000 a month, and then have some money for like production costs. And that's when we quit both of our jobs. And then we started creating other channels to kind of see if we can like diversify our income. And we ended up with this channel called Just Kidding News. And that was just based on all of us when we went to go eat, we would just talk in the parking lot for hours after. And I think within 2 years, it became a 7-figure company, which was fucking crazy for us. Cause we're like, from just like 5-6 years ago, you know, always having -80, -300 to like a 7-figure company, it was almost mind blowing. So the training came in high school. When I moved out here, all my friends' older brothers, they just came back from jail. And in jail, like the activity of choice is lifting weights. And that's all we did. So we would just hang out in a garage and we'd just smoke cigarettes and lift weights. And that kind of became like the thing. And so I started lifting when I was 15. My love for lifting went from just being an activity in a garage. It went to like, how can I learn more about this? So Barbell Brigade is actually, it's kind of like this crazy tangent that I took at the side of my life. So, okay, I'm like, people follow me for some workouts. Let's create a brand first. And then, so we named the gym after the brand, Barbell Brigade. And we posted on the website, hey, we want to open up in Monterey Park. And if we get 100 members, we'll open. And we got 100 members in like 2 weeks. And what sucks though was within 3 months, our membership went from 100, went down to like 30. So we lost a bunch of members, and it was because everyone that signed up was a fan. So they're not really into lifting, they're just fans of like me being a clown. And so they just want to be in the presence of me being a clown. But when I opened this gym, it's because I want to attract like-minded people. But what was cool was the community that we built was so strong, people started inviting their friends. So at that point, I actually thought we were gonna have to close the business down. But then within 8 months, we actually outgrew the place. And then we moved to the current downtown location. And then so now we're at like 400 members, which is pretty cool. I think if I were to give myself advice, and if I really could, it would be, if you realize you're really passionate about something, I think it's in your best favor to pursue it, regardless if anyone supports you, and even if it feels like you have to do it on your own, because once you become successful in it, other people will finally understand. If you find that burning passion for something, don't let it go and really try to nurture it. Don't try to be the person that achieves a goal. Be the person that achieves goals. For me, like, even if I stopped doing the things I did now, I would just pick up new activities, because I think that's how I am. Like, you know, like I think the way my brain works, I constantly need to be stimulated, and that's what brings me happiness. Success comes from consistent effort, and I think consistent effort comes from things that are simple and that it is in your nature to do. So I think a lot of times people, they see success and they attach what someone else is doing and they go, I need to do that. But you might not be successful doing that because it's not in your nature to do that. I think it's easier for you to find what works naturally for you and then find the simplest ways of doing it, and then you can repeat that process. And then with consistency, I think comes success, and you'll end up being successful in your own way. And I think that has way more longevity.